In the Bible, there was a man named David. Not just any man, he was a king, a warrior, a man chosen by God. This is the same David who defeated Goliath, the same David who wrote songs to God, a man after God's own heart. But even great men can make terrible mistakes. One evening, when kings were supposed to be at war, David stayed behind in his palace. As the sun was setting, he walked out onto his rooftop. And from there, he saw a woman bathing. Her name was Bathsheba. She was very beautiful. David looked and kept looking. Instead of turning away, he gave in to temptation. He sent someone to find out who she was. And the answer came back, she is Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah. Uriah, one of David's loyal soldiers. A man currently out fighting for the king. David knew this. But instead of stopping, he went further. He sent for her. That one decision changed everything. Bathsheba came to the palace, and David slept with her. Afterward, she returned home. And for a moment, it seemed like no one would ever know. But sin has a way of revealing itself. Soon, Bathsheba sent word to David, I am pregnant. David was now afraid. Not of people, but of being exposed. So he came up with a plan. He called Uriah back from the battlefield. David greeted him warmly, asking about the war, then told him, go home. Rest. Be with your wife. It sounded kind, but it was a cover-up. If Uriah went home, people would assume the child was his. But Uriah did something unexpected. He refused. Instead of going home, he slept outside the palace. When David asked why, Uriah replied, the ark and the army are out in the field. How can I go home and enjoy comfort while my fellow soldiers are suffering? Uriah's loyalty exposed David's guilt. So David tried again. This time, he invited Uriah to dinner and got him drunk. But even then, Uriah did not go home. At this point, David made a choice that would stain his legacy. He wrote a letter, sealed it, and gave it to Uriah to deliver to the army commander. Uriah unknowingly carried his own death sentence. The letter said, place Uriah in the front lines where the fighting is fiercest. Then withdraw from him so he will be struck down. And that's exactly what happened. Uriah was sent to the most dangerous part of the battle. And he died. When the news reached David, he acted as if everything was normal. After a period of mourning, he brought Bathsheba into his palace. She became his wife. And soon, she gave birth to a son. To everyone else, it looked like everything had worked out. But there was one thing David forgot: God sees everything. God sent a prophet named Nathan to confront the king. Instead of accusing David directly, Nathan told him a story. There were two men in a city, he said. One was rich and had many sheep. The other was poor and had only one little lamb, a lamb he loved like family. One day, a traveler came to the rich man. But instead of using his own animals, the rich man took the poor man's only lamb and killed it. David was furious. As surely as the Lord lives, he said, that man deserves to die. Then Nathan looked straight at him and said, you are the man. In that moment, everything hit David. The guilt, the sin, the truth. He had taken another man's wife and arranged that man's death. David didn't argue. He didn't deny it. He broke. I have sinned against the Lord, he said. David truly repented. He cried out to God for mercy. He fasted, he prayed. But sin still has consequences. The child born to Bathsheba became very ill. And despite David's prayers, the child died. This was a painful moment. But the story doesn't end in darkness. Over time, David and Bathsheba had another son. His name was Solomon. And he would grow up to become one of the greatest kings in Israel's history. This story is not just about failure. It's about temptation. The danger of small compromises. and the heavy cost of trying to hide sin. But it's also about something deeper, grace. Because even after David fell, God did not completely abandon him. Why? Because David turned back to God with a sincere heart. So what can we learn from this? That no one is above temptation. That one wrong decision can lead to many more. And that covering up sin only makes things worse. But also, that no matter how far someone falls, true repentance can lead to restoration. David's story reminds us, even a king can fall. But with God, redemption is still possible.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Stay blessed.